Hi everyone, my name is Cassie and welcome to my channel, Bookish for Eyes. Today I'm doing a July TBR video, so let's get right to it. The very first book that I'm picking up is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I've read this book before, I think a few years back, I can't remember when, but I have decided to reread the series, and actually in the month of June I read the first book, which I really enjoyed, and I found that it was so different reading it again. So I was very interested in it, and I'm looking forward to reading the entire series, hopefully this year. I liked Chamber of Secrets. It wasn't my favorite Harry Potter book, but as with the first two Harry Potter books, it's pretty short and there's lots happening, and it's just a very fun adventure that they're going on, so I'm really looking forward to reading it in the month of July. This book you've probably seen me talk about before on previous TBR videos, and I promise this month is when I'm finally going to get around to reading it. This is Half of a Yellow Sun, and this is about Nigeria in the 1960s, and there's some unrest there. And basically this book has 5 characters that we're going to get to know, and different instances, and there are different things that they're dealing with, and they're all so different from one another, and that's why it's going to be an interesting way to be able to tell how people are dealing with the hardships that they're facing. So I'm very excited to read this. All of her other books have been great, and I keep saying that, and I really need to read this one because I've heard amazing things about it, and I know it's going to be a really, really good read. This next book is a thriller that I'm really excited to pick up. It comes out in July, so that's also very exciting. It's called Her Pretty Face. This is about Frances, who is a stay-at-home mom, and her son ends up getting into a really fancy school, so she's very excited, but she's also feels really lonely and isolated from all the other moms there who are more rich than her and who, you know, just are very stuck up and full of themselves, and she doesn't really have anyone that she can connect with. However, there's a woman there whose name is Kate, and her son also goes to that school, and Kate is rich and fancy and, you know, has really good connections, and for some reason she is really eager to become friends with Frances, and Frances obviously isn't gonna fight that, so they become friends. However, there's this big twist because one of these two women, Kate or Frances, is actually not who she says she is at all, and in fact she's a murderer. But we don't know which one of the two women it is, so but I don't know. I'm really excited. I think this book will be really interesting, and I have to know who the real killer is. I've had this collection of short stories sitting on my shelves for a while, and I've read a couple of them, but I never went through the whole book. It's a collection of 28 short stories, I guess. There's 28 writers who write about living in New York and then deciding to leave it for other greener pastures. And I'm really interested to see how their perspectives changed, what made them want to leave, and how they carried on elsewhere and what they chose to do. So excited to get around to reading these stories. Last but not least is The Sixth Extinction, and this is a nonfiction book, and as always I'm trying to read more nonfiction, so I'm very excited to pick this up. The environment is one of the causes that I really care about, and when I saw this book I really wanted to pick it up, and I've had it sitting on my shelves for a while, and I unfortunately haven't got around to reading it yet. Basically, this is about the sixth extinction that's going to happen. So far in the half a billion years that the Earth has been around, there have been 5 major extinctions. One that we might be familiar with is the one where the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, and the 6th one is probably going to be that's going to wipe out all of us. And in this book, there are scientists who are tracking the trends that connect to that 6th extinction that is upon us. Not immediately, but you know, it's gonna happen one way or another. And there have been signs already because some of the species have completely disappeared, and a lot of the species are very endangered, and obviously like things like global warming and all of that ties into it also. So I'm really fascinated with this book, and I'm really excited to read it. I know it's probably going to be heartbreaking and a little depressing, but I think it's good to be informed and to know what's going on. So that's it for my July TBR. Please let me know if you've read any of these books, and also please let me know what are some of the books that you have on your July TBR that you're very excited for. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.